Introduction. This is a summary of my reading notes from Influence by Robert Cialdini. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, by Robert Cialdini is a timeless masterpiece that unveils the secrets of persuasion. Cialdini delves into human psychology, revealing 6 principles of influence that guide our decisions. What sets this book apart is its practicality. It offers actionable strategies for marketing, sales, and communication. Cialdini's storytelling prowess makes the concepts engaging and memorable. It remains relevant despite its 1984 publication, offering a solid foundation for understanding human behavior in a changing world. Importantly, Influence emphasizes ethical persuasion, making it a must-read for anyone seeking to influence others with integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, we've embarked on an exciting journey through the intriguing world of human behavior and the principles of persuasion. Now, let's delve deeper into the hidden forces at play, which often lead us to say yes without even realizing it. In our exploration of these principles, we've learned that our automatic tapes are usually shaped by psychological principles and stereotypes that we've been exposed to from a very young age. They're like scripts in our minds, guiding our responses without us even recognizing their power. But rest assured, others can detect and wield these principles as powerful weapons of automatic influence. There's a group of people out there who are masters of this art. They move from one social encounter to another, effortlessly persuading others to comply with their wishes. Their success is nothing short of dazzling. What sets them apart is their ability to structure their requests using the weapons of influence hidden within our social environment. Sometimes, all it takes is one well-chosen word, one that engages a powerful psychological principle, to set our automatic behavior tapes in motion. These exploiters have learned to profit from our tendency to respond mechanically to these principles. They know how to trigger our automatic responses. Consider the tale of the Drubeck brothers, Sid and Harry, who owned a men's tailor shop back in the 1930s. Sid, the salesman, used a clever trick. He pretended to have a hearing problem and asked customers to speak louder. When it came time to quote the price of a suit, Harry, the head tailor, exaggerated it. Sid would then pretend to mishear, offering a much lower price. Many customers, driven by the expensive equals good stereotype, would rush to buy the seemingly discounted suit. But what's common among all these weapons of automatic influence? Well, there are a few components we need to understand. First, there's the almost mechanical way these weapons can be activated, making them ripe for exploitation. Second, the exploiters don't need to exert much effort. They merely tap into the existing sources of influence in a situation. This subtle manipulation often goes unnoticed, even by the victims themselves. Now, let's talk about the contrast principle, a fascinating aspect of human perception. This principle affects the way we perceive the difference between two things presented one after another. If the second item is significantly different from the first, we tend to see it as even more different than it actually is. Think about it in terms of lifting weights. If you lift a light object before a heavy one, the second one will feel even heavier. The same applies to our perception of attractiveness. If we talk to a beautiful person at a party and then meet someone less attractive, we tend to undervalue their attractiveness. This principle even impacts our satisfaction with our own partners, thanks to the media's bombardment of unrealistic beauty standards. A classic experiment with perceptual contrast involves placing one hand in cold water and the other in hot water before putting both hands in lukewarm water. Even though both hands are in the same bucket, the one that was in the cold water will feel like it's in hot water, and the one that was in hot water will feel like it's in cold water. What's crucial about the contrast principle is that it's nearly undetectable when exploited. For instance, retail clothiers use it strategically. When a customer comes in looking for a 3-piece suit and a sweater, they show the expensive suit first. This makes the sweater, even if it's expensive, seem more reasonable in comparison. Surprisingly, this approach leads customers to spend more on accessories after buying the suit. So, whether it's in retail, real estate, or various other aspects of our lives, the contrast principle continues to shape our decisions, often without us realizing it. It's a powerful tool that savvy influencers use to their advantage. In conclusion, our automatic responses are driven by a complex interplay of psychological principles and learned stereotypes. They can be triggered with a single word or by skillful manipulation of our perception through contrast. The world of human behavior is indeed fascinating, and understanding these hidden forces can empower us to make more conscious decisions in our daily lives. Thank you for joining me on this extended exploration of the secrets of persuasion and influence. Part 2, The Reciprocity Rule. This is a summary of my reading notes from Influence by Robert Cialdini. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, by Robert Cialdini is a timeless masterpiece that unveils the secrets of persuasion. Cialdini delves into human psychology, revealing 6 principles of influence that guide our decisions. What sets this book apart is its practicality. It offers actionable strategies for marketing, sales, and communication. Cialdini's storytelling prowess makes the concepts engaging and memorable. It remains relevant despite its 1984 publication, offering a solid foundation for understanding human behavior in a changing world. Importantly, Influence emphasizes ethical persuasion, making it a must-read for anyone seeking to influence others with integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, as we delve deeper into the intricate world of reciprocation, I have some remarkable insights to share with you. We'll not only explore the rejection then retreat technique, but also uncover its applications in door-to-door sales operations, the psychology behind it, and how to effectively navigate these complex dynamics. So, get ready for a detailed journey into the fascinating realm of reciprocity. In my extensive investigations of door-to-door sales operations, I've had the opportunity to witness a less engineered but equally effective version of the rejection then retreat technique. These sales organizations have their priorities straight. Their primary objective is, of course, to close the sale, but they also emphasize the critical importance of acquiring referrals from prospects. These referrals, which include names of friends, relatives, or neighbors, are like gold because they significantly boost the chances of making a successful sale. Why? Well, let's peel back the layers and examine this strategy in depth. We've previously discussed how the rejection then retreat technique incorporates the reciprocity rule to its advantage. But its effectiveness can be attributed to not just reciprocity but also two other key factors. The first factor involves the perceptual contrast principle, which we encountered earlier. Picture this: if I want you to lend me $5, I can make it seem like a smaller request by initially asking for $10. By later retreating to the smaller sum of $5, I not only harness the power of the reciprocity rule but also create a perceptual contrast that makes the request appear more reasonable. When these two influences, reciprocity and perceptual contrast, converge within the rejection then retreat sequence, they generate a formidable force that can yield astonishing results. Now, you might be wondering whether there's a downside to this technique. Will individuals who fall for it resent being manipulated into compliance? Will they experience regret later? Surprisingly, research suggests that these negative reactions occur less frequently than you might expect. In a revealing study conducted in Canada, researchers set out to investigate whether individuals who fell prey to the rejection then retreat tactic would follow through with their agreements. Participants were asked to volunteer for 2 hours of unpaid work at a community mental health agency. However, before making this request, researchers first presented a more significant ask to commit to being a counselor to a juvenile delinquent for a 2-year period. As anticipated, a larger number of people agreed to the smaller request after the initial, more substantial request was rejected. Here's where it gets intriguing: those who volunteered after experiencing the rejection then retreat procedure not only agreed but were also significantly more likely to show up and fulfill their commitments as promised. It's as though this tactic not only prompts agreement but also fosters a sense of responsibility and even motivates individuals to volunteer for additional requests. But our journey doesn't end there. It's crucial to understand that the requester who employs the reciprocation rule or any other weapon of influence to gain our compliance isn't the true opponent. The genuine adversary is the rule itself. To protect ourselves from manipulation, we must learn to defuse its power. The critical question is, how can we neutralize the impact of a social rule as potent as the one for reciprocation? Imagine you find yourself in a situation where someone offers you something with the ulterior motive of selling you a costly alarm system. Your most effective course of action lies in a straightforward yet powerful maneuver, a private mental redefinition. Instead of viewing whatever you've received from the person as gifts, consider them as sales devices. This mental shift liberates you to either decline or accept their purchase offer without feeling ensnared by the reciprocity rule. And even if they attempt to retreat and seek referrals from you, you can employ the same mental maneuver. Interpret their retreat for what it genuinely represents: a strategic compliance tactic. By grasping these techniques and being cognizant of the intricate psychological forces at play, you can traverse the compliance battlefield with resilience and wisdom, emerging unscathed and possibly even better off than before. So, there you have it, a comprehensive exploration of the rejection then retreat technique, its nuances, and strategies to safeguard yourself from its influence. It's all about mastering the art of reciprocity and wielding it with precision. Thank you for accompanying me on this detailed journey, and remember, knowledge is your greatest ally in the realm of influence.